watched the movie Malcolm X with Denzel starring.
Denzel Washington, who is
Denzel
also
Washington.
one of our cultural heroes. We'll get into him a little bit later, but Denzel did a great job in that movie. He does a great job in every movie. He's that dude, and he's one of those guys that set the bar and continues to set the bar really high, and is consistent and just exudes that black excellence. King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Man, black excellence.
Training Day, man. That's a great movie.
Man, we might as well just get into Denzel.
Should we get into Denzel?
I think we might as well get into Denzel.
All right, let's get into Denzel. Fuck it. Denzel Washington, man. He's my person. I don't know about you. It's Denzel for me, number one, and then I'll give Will Smith that second slot of favorite actors of all time. But
actually,
Denzel
I agree with that.
Yeah, you agree with that?
I agree with that, for sure.
And I don't know if I'm giving Will Smith the second. Nah, let me not say that. But I'm gonna put Denzel as my number one spot. And my favorite Denzel movie is probably gonna be John Q. John Q. That was a powerful movie for me.
That's a movie where his son had a bad heart.
That's the movie where his son had a bad heart. He fainted in a baseball game. They rushed him to the emergency room. Come to find out, he needed a heart transplant. And his insurance ended up being expired or something like that. He didn't renew his policy, but long story short, the insurance wasn't covering it. So he needed to get a heart for his son, but couldn't afford it. So he literally had to take the hospital hostage and be like, y'all gonna figure this shit out.
Y'all gonna give my son a heart.
This game y'all playing with health insurance and this whole money scheme and whatever y'all doing with the system you have set up, this structure you have set up is not working. My son needs a heart. And similar to Malcolm X, by any means necessary, my son's gonna get a heart. So he locked down the ER in the hospital, and he had a few hostages and said, "Yo, I'm not letting these people go until my son gets a heart." Right. And I think it was just powerful. It just speaks to what you're willing to do for your people, your family, your loved ones, your kids. He was willing to put it all on the line. And my favorite part of the movie, which I think this is when Denzel's spot as like my favorite actor was solidified. It was when he was literally getting ready to kill himself.
Oh, I remember that scene.
To give his son his heart. And it wasn't the scene when he was literally had the gun to his head, but the scene before that when he went in to talk to his son.
And his son is sitting on the bed and with the thing hooked up to him.
Son, he walks in and his son's sitting on the bed and his son's like, half asleep, and he was like, "Yo, Dad, did you get me a heart?" And he's like, "I got you." He's like, "But let me rap with you for a second, He's like, "Yo, you need a," and he was just giving him the rundown. He was putting him up on game, like, you need a, if you say you're gonna do something, you better do it. Your word is everything. He's like, you listen to your mom. He's like, you treat the ladies good. He's like, and the part that got me, he's like, you stay away from the bad things. He's like, please stay away from the bad things. And I'm just like, and he was crying, and I'm just like, yo, this
is real.
This boy can act.
This is real.
His ass off. And that's what did it for me, man. And Denzel, movie after movie, no matter if it's like a Training Day or like a funny movie or like an action movie like Equalizer, yo, he comes with it.
Definitely. Like, my two favorite movies of Denzel, you like to mention Training Day, Malcolm X, which we kind of briefly touched on. And for me as a basketball fan, He Got Game.
He Got Game is a dope movie.
Shout
out Ray Allen.
Shout out Jesus Shuttlesworth. It's with Denzel, like you said, he exudes black excellence every time he's on film. He's always a positive influence, rather the character he plays in. Training Day, he was kind of the bad cop, dirty cop. But in pretty much all the other movies, he's clever, he's witty, he's sharp. He's a great father, right. In his movies. He's a great husband for the majority of his movies.
Right.
And he just shows he's just kind of lays like a blueprint to how black men should be with their families and their children.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's very huge to see that on screen, because then it trickles down into your subconscious, and then it kind of gets you thinking in your own life. Like,
Right.
okay, what am I going to say to my son if this situation happens? You know, just
Right.
it gets you in that mode. And Denzel's a pioneer, you know, of black excellence on film.
On film, absolutely, absolutely, man. He's yeah, man. I don't know. He's brought us so many different pieces of art, and I would say art that the black community could be really proud of, you know. And I think he's all. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think he's probably pretty much all of our favorite, you know, actors, as far as male actors go. But man, again, he's a cultural hero. Just again, he sets that bar high. He exudes black excellence. He's consistent with his movies. I don't think I've seen one bad Denzel Washington movie. Maybe in his earlier career, I don't really know. But I don't remember ever seeing one bad Denzel movie, one movie where his acting was subpar. His acting is literally always top notch. It's actually amazing. It's incredible to watch.
Definitely. Did you hear about that one quote? Well, I forgot what movie he was doing, but he had a scene. He had to kiss a white woman on camera.
Okay.
And he felt some type of way about that. He actually refused to kiss a white woman on camera out of respect for black women. So I think that's very powerful and important to know, that he knows the world is watching him. And if he does like every other actor or black actor and dates the white girl, kisses the white girl, kind of has that, I don't even know if you want to call it a stereotype, but they kind of push that. He was like, you know what, I respect black women enough to only have relations on camera with them. So I think that's very powerful and to nod, you know, and salute to.
Yeah, I think it's a controversial stance for sure. It's a powerful stance. What I get from it is that, you know, black women, especially in Hollywood, are kind of given the short end of the stick, right? They're not given as many opportunities as, you know, their white female peers. So I think that stance is kind of just shedding light on that, and hopefully and potentially creating an opportunity for black women to get more lead roles, and at least putting light on it and starting that conversation.
Right.
You know, so I think that's, again, for his celebrity and his level of notoriety, to kind of just take that stance, that controversial stance, and say, hey, this is what I feel. This is how, you know, this is what I feel. I want to stand and support my black sisters. I think that's commendable. That's commendable. So we salute Denzel for that, and we salute him for his art, man.
Definitely a cultural hero, man. We'll be, you know, from our parents to grandparents to our kids, you know, they'll all, you know, watch Denzel and see his greatness.